Hey everybody, Ryan McCaffrey with IGN, joined by fellow IGN Halo superfan Mitch Dyer.
That's me.
Mitch, unexpected pleasant email that said, would you like to come play a preview of the Halo 5 multiplayer beta?
To which we responded, no, thank you.
Oh,
I'm
we
just
said
kidding.
yes.
We totally said yeah. We went and played Halo 5.
Let's just dive right in. What were your first impressions of it? Because it's different.
It is substantially different. It was not at all what I was expecting. The big thing with Halo 5 is that mobility for every Spartan is completely different in multiplayer. Everything is tied to the thruster on your back, so you have evasive maneuvers, you have means of dashing through the air, jutting around corners, floating through the air, like ground pounding, like all these different skills, like body checking someone like you're a hockey player, which is fantastic. It feels really good.
But everyone has them. That's the thing. These are not loadouts. These are not perks. I agree. I wasn't expecting what we got either, in the sense of, I really thought we were going right back to Halo 2, but with a very modern take on it. And in a way it is.
Sort of is, and you really get that impression when you play on Truth, the midship remake.
Yeah, we played midship. They're calling it Truth now, for whatever reason.
Super boring name.
I agree. If we just call it midship?
Yeah.
We're just
and
gonna
we
go,
will, for the rest of
We're going
time.
with midship. But it was good to wield the Covenant energy sword again, which is in the same place.
Bane.
Yes, it's called the Prophet's Bane, which might tie into the story, the single player story.
I'm sure
somehow.
it does, yeah. That might be a specific energy sword.
Yeah.
Which is potentially interesting.
But I gotta say, I loved all the lateral movement. It is about the power weapons. They do tag power weapons on the map, and in fact, a thing I really liked that I thought I wasn't gonna like when we got a presentation before we got to play, and the presentation was, there's battlefield chatter from your characters, like just voiceover from your guy.
Spartans will talk to each other like, oh, that guy's got a battle rifle, grenade
and
incoming.
I thought, that's totally stupid. Why, I don't get that out of my Halo game. But actually, it's super useful because they say things that if you're playing with quiet teammates online, that actually gives you valuable battlefield info, like, reloading snipes. Like, that's actually, I love that they use the colloquial term
it's like
as
stuff
well.
that you and I would say.
Yes, so that you don't have to say it.
Yeah.
But the thing that I can't shake, and because I liked so much of what we saw, but the hallmark of Halo has always been the best first-person shooter controls on a gamepad.
Of course.
Every Halo game, the controller the barrier between you and the controller didn't exist.
Yeah.
Between you and the game, you could do what you wanted to do, line up that headshot, move where you wanted to move, and I felt like I was really fighting the controls in this, in what we played, which is an early version of the early version we'll all play in December. I mean, it's November 5th as we record this. The beta doesn't start till December 29th. But I just felt like I was moving through molasses the whole time. I couldn't, and I cranked my sensitivity. I started with it at 5, moved it to 7, then maxed it to 10, and I just still felt like I couldn't really just easily get my headshots lined up like I can. I went right back to Master Chief Collection after that, and played Halo 2 and Halo 1, and I was just like, oh, okay, I'm back home.
That's really interesting. Like, I didn't get that at all. I didn't feel slow.
Interesting.
But I almost wonder if you feel that way because the rest of the movement is so fast. You're moving around almost like a Titanfall or Mirror's Edge character.
I don't know.
You can mantle up ledges, which we forgot to mention. So you're navigating a space in a really rapid way that is very unlike Halo. And the movement might be very familiar for Halo fans. So maybe that combination is jarring. I don't know. I just didn't get it personally. I found the controls.
Good. I mean, we'll see what happens. But
I do agree with you about the controls, though. I mean, and you can change them. They are customizable. But the default set, I had a really hard time mentally getting over the fact that RB and B do essentially the same thing with the jetpack, but in different capacities. Like, you can sprint and use your jetpack to attack somebody with your melee, and other times you use it to just dash out of the way. And those are on different buttons, and that was just confusing to me.
Yeah, it's really awesome, by the way. Everyone has sprint, unlimited sprint, but the balance trade-off is you can't recharge your shields while you're sprinting. So if you decide to bail on something,
you gotta commit. And I like that because it's not just a gimmick. It's not a talking point, right? It is a balance thing because it forces you to engage.
Right.
If you're not gonna run away, then you're gonna turn and you're gonna say like, all right, I mean, my shields might regenerate if I fight and stop sprinting. maybe, like, I'm gonna roll the dice and just see what happens, and it makes you more aggressive.
Yeah, my favorite part about the unlimited sprint is that as you mentioned, ramming, like just slamming into someone
like
with your
a sprint
shoulder.
melee uses the thruster to attack.
Right. But if you catch someone from behind, you instantly kill them.
It's like an assassination.
Yeah, like an assassination from 4, but really cool. What are we missing?
If you use the thruster into somebody, it pops their shields instantly.
Right.
And the ground pound is it's my favorite new skill by far, but also one of the hardest to use.
Yeah, you go into the air, you hit it, you hover, and then you get a little reticle to actually kind of aim within a small radius, and then you can, bam, pound someone. I remembered the big thing we're forgetting. And this, again, at first mention, just cringeworthy, like, no, don't. And that is a form of ADS, aim down sights. They're calling it smart scope. Yes.
Smart sight, smart scope. I forget the actual terminology, but it's aim down sights, it's iron sights.
For every weapon.
But they do it in a really intelligent way. I thought it was really smart that it's tied to the visor and not the gun.
Yes.
Because that means you don't actually lose that much of your peripheral vision, and you do get that added aiming bonus. And you can use that with your thruster, if you're jumping through the air and you hold left trigger to aim down sights, which is so weird when we're talking about Halo.
I know, I kept clicking in the stick.
Yeah. You'll actually coast down through the air really, really slowly, which lets you get an aerial advantage, but also makes you a bit of a sitting duck. You're exposed, so a sniper can very easily take you down.
The thing I don't like personally about ADS in a Call of Duty or in a Destiny is I feel like I'm spending the entire game like this, and I'm not really seeing the world. But I found in our time with the Halo 5 beta that you still play most of the game not in the smart scope ADS thing.
You're playing it like a Halo game.
Like a Halo game.
Because you have to, because if you get hit while in the scope, you're going to get de-scoped.
You get de-scoped.
And
which happened in 2.
Yeah, and it's super important because if you're engaging, you have to kind of initiate on somebody with ADS, because the moment they turn and start firing on you, it's useless. You're not going to use it. You're just going to go back to what's familiar. Yeah. And so it's a good way to get the drop on somebody.
And then real quick, new game mode.
Yes.
Called
Breakout.
Breakout, that's right. It is basically kind of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's a form of like SWAT, Counter-Strike style, one life to live, no respawn. But it's very much framed around like an esports centric.
4-on-4 as we played it. I'm sure you can do it with more. And it's the first team to win 5 rounds. So it could go up to like 9 rounds.
Yeah.
Technically more because there are ties. The clock will run out if you get down to a 1-on-1 and nobody engages.
They said that it was higher lethality, but I didn't get the impression it was like SWAT. Like it didn't feel like SWAT where a headshot is a guaranteed kill.
But I like the teamwork. I like the no respawn. It was definitely a tense multiplayer match, and it was on this cool. It was actually, we played it on a level called Crossfire, which is what you saw in the original Halo 5 teaser at E3, where it's red and blue running, and then they both jump into an arena. It's this map.
That one,
it's called Crossfire.
It's very much like a sports arena. It's actually a forge map, so that map is forgeable. You can modify it if you don't like the layout. You can add things to it. It's got decent verticality, but it's a little bit simplistic, which I actually really like. Yeah. You're not, looking for sniper perches. You are engaging. You are fighting all the time.
So, final thoughts, Mitch. I mean, for me, I wanted it to be more like Halo 2. It is, but it's almost more of a modern version of Halo 2 with the thruster movement and stuff. I like, the loadout stuff is gone. It is even playing field for everyone. I just feel like if I've gotta, either I need to adjust the controls or 343 needs to smooth out the controls. Probably a little column A, a little column B there, but if I can get to the controls to a place where it feels like Halo again, that ease of movement, I really like a lot of most of what they're doing here.
Me too, and time will tell how mantling a ledge and jetting through the air with a thruster affects gameplay long term and how it changes player behavior and combat. But I really like it, and I appreciate how heavily 343 is focusing on those ideals. Yeah. It's not messing around with other stuff, like loadouts, gone, get rid of them. Get rid of anything that complicates combat and focus on like the arena battles.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a ton more on the Halo 5 multiplayer beta as its December 29th
That's it.
launch approaches. So for more on Halo 5, for about the next year or more, keep it tuned right here to IGN.